Hi guys, welcome back to Hear Me Out. I am your beautiful host Shamiso, and I am joined by the beautiful Nomta. Did I say it properly? I should have asked you because I asked Richard when I was like, Richard, how do you say? How'd you say
No, you said it correctly.
it? The beautiful Nomta, and today we're going to be talking about a lot of things. So I hope you guys enjoyed this conversation. Nomta, how are you doing?
I'm really good. I've had a beautiful week really, but yeah, I think I'm doing good. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm doing okay. Like I've had a my week has been filled with procrastination, but I
Oh,
got some work done. Like I was supposed to get the laundry out of the machine and all these things and make my bed, like because I was washing my sheets and all the stuff. And I did it today, and I was so proud of myself. So I think God is like,
yeah, you actually did so well. Need to give you like a round of applause.
thank you, thank you, thank you. I really appreciate
You
it.
have
I
it.
really appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And you look awesome, by the way.
Oh, thank you so much. Oh, don't make me blush.
Sweetie,
Thank
yeah.
you.
Oh,
This took me like I thought this was going to take me longer than it did because I'm not like a professional makeup artist, but I
no,
do.
but you look the part. I do like foundation for church. Then my friend was even like, "What happened? Like you used to be now consistent. What happened?" But I can't do like the fancy. I'm still learning, and once I learn,
Once you know, they'll be like, wow, this
everyone will be like, "Stop! It's enough."
stop looking, and they'll be like, please, you're hurting our eyes. You're hurting our eyes. Like, stop right now. So speaking of church, I always talk about people and their relationship with God. Like,
Yeah,
how did you start your relationship? I know this is something that's not on the list I gave you, but like I told you,
that's
it's in the
fine.
spirit. Um,
Yeah,
how did you start your relationship with God?
yeah. Interesting enough. So on my YouTube channel, I literally posted a recent video on just like my salvation story. And I felt like, oh, it seems a bit simple, like that, okay, grew up in a Christian home and that's just how like life began. And I think for like the that initial moment of saying, I choose you, God, and I want you to be the Lord of my life. I think it started in grade 5 because that's when I remember like my genuine, trust and full faith in God, where I was like, yeah, you can do this for me, you can do that for me. But my my transition to where I then stood and I was like, you know what, I actually want to know more about God. Because after that, I was like, yeah, I know God, I fear God and all this, but I was not, walking. Oh, wow, I love this. So just remember something, and this is something that I've been learning recently. And it's like my journey's just like been changing as the steps go by. And the most important thing that I've been learning like in this season is just that when I said I want to be saved, it didn't mean like everything else that's like evil, all the things of this world will just disappear.
Mm,
So it was like, yes, you've made a public declaration of your faith, but you still need to make a dying daily sacrifice to
mm,
self. So I think my journey with God has, been lukewarm here and there. And then like as I was struggling to get into university, he became the source. And up to that, like I think I have not looked back. And it's like, yes, I've got, ups and downs, but like he's genuinely like proved to me time and again that he is the source. And it's like now I'm just like, oh, thank you, because I know I couldn't have done it. I can't even,
yeah.
maintain anything. Right now, I'm really like being held by accountability, like knowing that, okay, this person is counting on me that, there's prayer at this time, there's Bible study at this time, so it's those things that have groomed my relationship with God. And I think, yeah, I'm just so happy that I know him, and it's a pleasure, it's an honor that he chose to introduce me to him. Because yeah, I imagine you grew up without knowing God.
Yeah.
Because generally there are people that don't have that luxury. So yeah, I don't even think I went in the right direction of the question, but yes,
No, it's fine. Go ahead. You're free to just go wherever you want to go and
just move.
just move. No, I think that's That's beautiful. Grade five. How old? Because most of my audience, I realize, are in England.
Yeah.
So, like, I do have followers in like Zimbabwe, but some people are in England. So, how old were you in grade five? How old are we when we are in grade five?
I
Like
was 10.
10,
I
10.
10, yeah.
Okay.
It's interesting. I think a lot happened in grade five. It was like my becoming moment where you're like a bit grown up and like my memories probably freshly start from grade five. Yeah, that's how I remember because that's when I was now like actively like believing God for things. Like it was more, a give and take, like, okay, God, I want this, I want that. And I remember when I wanted to even go to high school, I literally, I was praying to get into this high school, which I then got into. But because they would send, there were those interviews or tests that you do before you get
Yeah,
accepted into
yeah,
like those schools that thought they were all that. So I was literally saying, I need to get the acceptance letter, and like they would have to send it to my apartment, to my home. And at that time, my tiny brain thought that, you know what, if I'm going to get this, I need to actually make sure that when they get to my house, they don't think, oh, this house is dirty and go back with my mail. I don't even know how I thought the mailman thought anything about my apartment. So I
yeah,
would sleep outside our gate every single day because I believed that the letter was coming. I just needed to be ready when it did. But
yeah,
yeah. So yeah, no, yeah, I was 10 to answer the short question.
yeah. No, that's so sweet of you. Like preparing while you wait.
Yeah.
Like preparing, like even though it's kind of like I don't think the mailman would have like,
Yeah, now that I'm grown up, I'm like, that was crazy. But at
yeah.
that time, it was like faith that,
It
look,
was
I'm gonna be
childlike
found
faith.
ready. Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
It was childlike faith. So yeah, I
Yeah.
get where it came from. And question, is there anything that you're waiting for God to do in your life at the moment? Like, is there anything that you're like, God, like, I've been waiting on this, I've been waiting on that, since you're talking about how you were waiting with the
That one.
application for your high school?
That's an interesting question. I think, to be honest, I think if we can say expected, I actually am even like, you want to say this, think about it, but you just had to go there. But I think I was at the start of the year. Genuinely, I was like, Lord, I expect to get 1,000 subscribers on my channel by the end of this year.
Yeah.
Expect, and when I came for placement, I was like, I expect to meet the love of my life,
Mm-hmm.
you know, everything like that. But yeah, bro, life doesn't go according to your expectations. But I think one thing is definitely now it's like I'm genuinely seeing that God is preparing me for those, maybe those big moments that I'm like, yeah, I expect this to happen now. But it's like now I can see that I'm in a season of training, because even my 1,000 subscriber expectation, if I put it that way, I just recently received a redirection. It's like sometimes God calms me down and I'm like, why am I feeling peace about this? Please, I really wanted that. Like, why are you giving me peace that it's okay even if it doesn't happen? But I think the main thing that I've just been learning is that he makes all things beautiful in his own time. But another thing is my goal was nothing related to his people. It's like, I want 1,000 subscribers. So what? Instead of, I want to be impactful. And that's really what I expect. I expect God to speak to me so that he can use me, as like a vessel that can actually like be like, okay, guys, this is what's up. And someone actually gets their life changed. And it's like, that message that you shared changed my life. So yeah, I really expect God to use. Someone was saying, people just say, use me, are you a whore or something? Like, God wants a relationship with you. So I want to be intentional with my relationship with God to the extent that when he speaks a word, I am that vessel that can carry it out and come back and report and say, it's completed, what's next? So yeah, I think that's what I'm expecting from God this season. That, and generally peace, if it's not the season, I am expecting the peace that will come with it to say, don't worry about this. It's not time yet. So yeah.
Oh,
What are you expecting? I know it's not my turn, but yeah.
What am I expecting? I think I'm expecting a lot of things. I've been looking for a job lately. I used to work at the card factory
Mm.
in the city center,
Yeah,
but then they didn't renew my contract. And I was actually happy about that because I remember like as I was in the job, I was like, Lord, I want my Saturdays back. Because
yeah.
my Saturdays were going because I could only work on a Saturday because I had uni during.
Oh,
So I'm expecting a job. Um um what else am I expecting? I don't know. I think I'm expecting more guidance with Shine Your Light because I'm in a stage where I know what I want it to be,
yeah.
but sometimes you need like to see it before you see it. Like I want to have like a dream or something. I want to have a dream or something that I can see where it's how I'm supposed to um how I'm supposed to create what I want it to be. So
Yeah.
I think I'm expecting that and I'm kind of expecting like am I expecting anything with my love life? I was just talking to God about this about my love life.
Yeah.
I'm expecting God to give me like direction like as to maybe I'm gonna meet my person like when I'm doing my master's. So let me make sure I'm going to the right university for my
Okay.
master's. Or him telling me secrets about my husband or something. I don't know.
Do
Like,
you think, sorry, do you think if he comes now, you're ready?
oh my gosh, you're the second person to ask me that. Like it's not like it's not like I got asked this question like yesterday. And
Oh,
today, like you're asking. It's like my friend asked me that like
interesting.
weeks ago.
Maybe something's cooking. You
Maybe something is cooking. Do I think I'm ready? I think I'm ready to be in a relationship. I think I've healed. Like I was in a relationship like it'll be 2 years ago in December,
yeah.
and then he broke up with me, and I was healing last year as well. Like there was a whole lot of drama. But like last year was like a year of healing. And I think I've healed. No, I know I've healed from that because I don't like think about him too much, or it doesn't make me sad that I'm not with my ex anymore. Um I don't know if I answered the question, but do I think what was the question? What was the question?
The question was, do you think you're ready if he does come now?
Like what's now? Like is now like 6 months?
Now it's like
Like is now like today?
now it's like this season, like any month from now, any week from now, like you meet him tomorrow in church type of vibe.
I actually never thought about that. Like if I meet him tomorrow, would I be ready? Um, I think so.
No, that's beautiful. Yeah.
Yes, I think I'll be ready because um not everything doesn't need to be perfect. Like for like I don't need to be like this perfect
100%.
person or like have everything figured out. Like I know what I want to do and I'm building towards what I want and I know what like my future's looking towards. Like a couple of months ago I was on a call with someone and I was like, I want to be making lots of money. This I know this is weird from a girl's perspective. I don't think girls ever think about I want to be making lots of money before I meet this person or this and that. But I
Yeah.
wanted to feel secure like within myself.
Yeah.
But then after talking to someone, like they reminded me, like you feel secure in God. You feel secure in God and who He is and who He's made you to be. And in reading the Word of God and like going through the Gospels and all that stuff, I'm just like, that is true. The Holy Spirit is the one that I should be secure in, not myself. Like
Yeah.
it's good to be confident in what God has made, but not to put all my confidence
In
in
possibility.
in myself.
Yeah.
So yes, the answer is yes. Um,
Yeah.
It's funny how this is the second time someone is out, and I'm like, God, what are you
What do
doing?
you say? Like, is there something I should know?
There's something I
You're
need.
the only one who doesn't know.
I think I think that's what's going on. I think I don't know something, and something is brewing, and I'm just like, what's brewing, Lord? Tell me now. Um, but yeah, but do you think when you did not answer the question, if your person came into your life like right now, would you
Yeah.
be ready? Would you be ready?
That's yeah, I think like what you were saying, I had that fear for a long time where I was like, I'm not ready, like I'm still working on stuff, like I need to get rid of baggage and everything like that. But this one time I was really like thinking about it in bed as well. I was like, you know what, I'm so scared and terrified because I probably wouldn't know how to behave, how to act, how to handle anything.
Mm,
And this popular verse came back and God said to me, I believe it was him, but the verse that did come was Proverbs 3, verse 5 to 6. And it says, trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. And for me, it was like God just reminding me that don't worry, like it's none of your business. Like you thinking, how will I know? How will I treat him? How will I? And it's like I will guide you. Like you just don't trust in what other people will say. You know how everyone's like, experience is the best teacher. Like for
yeah,
me, the confirmation I got was you don't need experience.
yeah,
God is going to guide you when it's not.
yeah.
When it comes, you won't have to think and be like everyone. Like there's a first time for everything, and I think yeah, I'm at a season where I'm settling with the fact that I don't have to have it all figured out, but I definitely want to know it's God when it does come because I'm not trying to just
I
hope
get
around.
that. Like I personally don't want to like, excuse me. I personally don't want to like hop around. Like I don't want to like have lots of guys come into my life at the same time and them being potential like counterfeits. Like because I was like, Lord, I already experienced that. I'm
Like no, thank you, done.
thank you. I've learned all the lessons. Let's just get to the promise. Let's
That
just
that is beautiful. Yeah, no, true.
let's just get to the promise because I just can't do this anymore.
Yeah.
But I get what you mean. Like I totally understand. Like and that's true. We shouldn't lean on our own understanding and we should let God like do the thing. We should let God do
Job. Do
do
the big thing. You just be present where you need to be when it
yes,
happens.
yes,
I don't need to
yes.
explain or anything. Yeah? Love
Mm-hmm.
that. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. Um so how are you like growing like in this time, like not just spiritually, but in other areas of your life?
Yeah, that is amazing. So one of my goals
Mm,
for 2023 was I genuinely wanted to read. I was like, I want to read 10 books. And in the process, I read Atomic Habits. So I'm currently in the process of reading Atomic Habits,
mhm,
and I would 100% recommend it. Ooh. And it was just saying that so many times we try to set goals based on like, oh, I wanna achieve this much, but really what you want is to enjoy the process instead of, reach the end, because then that means your joy only comes when it's at the finish line. So
mm,
for me, like after that, it was like I want to be a reader. I want to
yeah.
enjoy reading. And I think like in your question of growth, and I realized that when I read more books, so I'm not like a novel reader like that, but I'm a, like self-help growth books, and
Mhm,
really changed my belief in just like how things are formed. So one of the things Atomic Habits says is that your identity is formed by your habits. So right now I'm here and I'm saying I'm a YouTuber. Why? Because I've posted things on YouTube consistently enough to call myself a YouTuber. I call myself a Christian because I speak to God and I go to church frequently enough, to call myself a child of God, like it's those things that we do consistently that you're then like, oh, I think I'm a singer because I've done it. So everything that you define yourself is backed up by evidence of like when you've done it. So it's that growing into my identity, like who do I want to become? Like I'm really into like elegance, like classy stuff. And so it's like that intentionality of saying every time I walk into work I need to be on my A game, and I'm glad I'm embracing that. And definitely on my spiritual side, my growth has been different. I think there was that comfort obviously at the start where I was like, I know God, I know God. But now it's like genuinely, I know there's so much more that, is there. And for me, accountability, like I said, has really been a big major part because I was struggling with my prayer life. Like I was like, I want to pray, but like I'm just not feeling like it. At night, I'm like, I'd rather be in bed, really. Like, do your 2 seconds. You know what? By God. And it's like now I intentionally have conversations with my friends, my siblings, and I'm like, oh, can we do prayer at this time, please? And it's like consistently. And so, yes, out of those relationships with people that are, serious with God, it's helped me to cultivate my own relationship with God. So, like, Bible study, I know that I have Bible study with my friend, I have Bible study with my sisters every single day. And so it's like, even if I don't feel like it, someone's going to call me and say, hey, we're starting now. So like, so I think accountability has played a big role in my growth spiritually at work. So I'm doing placement year. And I think I was the type to shy away, like not very vocal and, like, oh, who am I really? But it's been a good journey in the sense that I see like the things that I like. So I'm very ambitious, but at the same time, it's like the first step is gonna take me ages to take because I'm thinking, oh, what if they don't like it? What if? And so I feel like I'm slowly coming to a point where I'm okay with rejection. Like what you're doing right now, like you're shining a light. It's like as you consistently do it, there are people that are going to be like, oh, sorry, I don't feel like coming. I'm not feeling the same thing you felt. And it's like with consistently putting yourself out there, rejection is no longer a big deal because you're focusing on the wins that you will get. Like it's like, okay, potentially I might lose this, but potentially I might actually get it. And if I don't do anything, I'm the same as losing. So might as well do it. So I think that's played a major role in kind of like having mentors. I'm just learning how to have the right community to advance. And I think, yeah, that's my growth journey really.
I think that's really cool. I think like sometimes we just like that's the whole reason I started Shine Your Light because
Yeah.
I realized there are other aspects of our lives that need help and that need growth and that need to be looked at.
Yeah.
Like the spiritual is extremely important as a Christian. Like it's the most important one.
Yeah.
However, there's also stuff like your health, your education, your relationships, like marriage, relationships, like being single, like friendships. And I'm going to try like incorporate more of that on Shine Your Light so that people are able to like grow the way you're growing, but they have accountability. They have like a place where
You can come back.
yeah, they can come back to and they can testify about how we've helped them, or they can testify about like, how we've helped them and we've helped in their growth journey. Sort of like not really self-help, but I don't know what it is. I don't know what to call it, but yeah, I think that's really cool about like the way and like, especially accountability is something that like we we need, especially because we can't do life alone. Like we're not doing it alone, but we can't do it without people.
You
Like
can't.
we can't do it without people. Like if you're a Christian and you're isolating yourself, that's the breeding ground for the devil to come and attack you. So and like isolation isn't the root to everything. Like people that say I just want to be alone all the time and like, yeah, that's great, but don't be without community. Don't be without the people that you need, the people that can help you grow as well. Um, Also, we have a mutual friend. So you talked about friendships and you talked about accountability. We have a mutual friend, Rutendo. She's
Yeah.
gonna be so happy. We shouted, "Hi, Rutendo! How are you
Yes.
doing?"
Shout out to Rutendo.
Shout out to you, Rutendo. We love you.
That, you can say that again, honestly. She's the
We,
reason we're here right now.
we love. She is the reason
Yeah.
because she posted. This is why, guys.
Do you know
Iron
me?
sharpens. I love iron sharpens iron. So the friend sharpens the friend. That's my favorite,
Wow.
favorite, favorite scripture about friendship and about
Wow.
relationships. That's my
Wow.
favorite one because if Rutendo had not posted
Mm.
me on her page, we would
Yeah.
not be having this conversation.
Imagine. Honestly, it's
Look at God. Look at God.
look at God. Wow, she's our but God testimony. She'll know this because I've been showing her this video with the girl's spouse. She's like, "You will always be my but God testimony," and that's literally her right now.
That's you, Rutendo. So shout out to you.
Yeah,
Thank you for being an amazing friend, to both of us.
exactly.
Beautiful
No,
friend.
yeah.
Thank you for posting me. Thank you for posting Shine Your Light. Now
Yes.
look at us. We'll become besties. Maybe I might steal her. I'm joking. I'm not going to steal
Like, yeah,
her. No, I'm joking.
no, yeah, she's definitely a gem, that one.
Yeah, she is. I've known her since I was in Form 3.
Yeah,
So
we were literally stalking her. You know, on Instagram, there's this page that says where you've been tagged. And I was like, you looked like this, like because all the all the old pictures, it's like, you guys were like together. And I was like,
yeah,
oh, look at you. I was so surprised. But yeah, I saw that you guys go like way, way back.
yeah,
Yeah, no,
yeah.
that's beautiful, Shane.
We've been friends for a while, for a good
Yeah,
while.
she speaks highly of you. She's like
Oh,
that one friend who apparently gave her a phone sometime, like back when she was going through something. And I was
yes,
like,
yes, yes.
no, you have a kind heart. From what I've heard,
I even threw her like a surprise party,
um,
like in 2020, like just after 2020. Yeah, 2020 in October before she left. Because I was like, I want to just throw her a surprise
you were
party.
actually that girl. No,
I was
wow,
that girl. Like,
that
I
is
was that
beautiful.
girl. Yeah.
I'm glad I know you now. Like, I'll be expecting.
Don't. When's your birthday?
Oh, it's past now. It was
Oh.
the 30th of April.
Oh, okay, okay, okay.
Old age,
Yeah,
catching up.
22. You're 22, right? Yeah,
Yeah,
we're getting to that age. We're getting to that age.
yeah.
Um,
Unfortunately.
yeah. So, we've come to the segment that you've been waiting for, Nomta. You can ask.
I love the way you say it like that. Oh wow.
Um, what questions do you have for me?
I think the question that I have for you is basically that what's your story? Like what's your story with meeting God in general? Like and you really choosing that, okay, Lord, I'm serious with you. I wanna shine your light, you know? Yeah, what's your story?
Okay, oh my gosh. I think I grew up in a Christian household, so we would always be going to a Methodist church.
Yeah,
And yeah, we always went to a Methodist church and we were always reading our Bible, Shana Methodist hymns and all this stuff, blah, blah, blah. And if I'm being honest, I don't really know when I gave my life to Christ
yeah.
because I would always say the salvation prayer.
I know the feeling, to be honest. It's like people have this December 22nd on 2021, and you're thinking,
How do you remember? Like, I don't remember. But I would always say that prayer. But like when I became serious was in trigger warning, trigger warning for anyone who's about this. I talked about this last week in the last week's episode, but I guess we're going to talk about this again. Um, when I was depressed and suicidal in 2017,
wow,
after that, like I started to get like December, I started to get closer to God.
yeah,
Then I got into a relationship that I shouldn't have been in. And
yeah,
then that relationship wasn't going so well.
yeah,
Then like it left a lot of scars and all that stuff. And like I had like between that time I was getting closer to God, but there was still this guy that I was like entertaining, but at the end of the day he wasn't like the best for me.
Yeah.
And then I guess like I then got into another relationship in 2021. Yes, with my last ex. I got into a relationship with him.
Yeah.
And I think prior to that, I had been praying about like my love life.
Yeah.
Um, and like I was like talking to God about my life and all that stuff and praying about stuff.
Yeah.
But it wasn't until like during that relationship where like my ex and I we weren't talking as much. Like there was barely any communication from his side. Like I would always communicate, but then on his side there was like 0%.
Yeah.
And and I started getting closer to God. Like I started like reading my Bible because I realized there was stuff in that relationship that was really unhealthy,
Yeah.
that was happening. So I was like, no, God, I want to change. And I also realized that there were some things in me, like there was a lot of anger and there was a lot of frustration from like stuff that had happened in the past that I was like holding on to. So instead of getting out of the relationship, I stayed in the relationship and tried to figure myself out while in the relationship.
Yeah.
So I was doing that. And then I was getting closer to God. But then after the breakup with my ex, like I then started to get really close to God. All these breakups, heartbreak.
No, yeah. Therefore, they reconnect and
It,
help
yeah, it helps. It
redirect it. Yes.
redirects you.
Rejection is redirection.
Yeah. um. Yeah. So I think like it's been high and low. If I'm being honest, it hasn't been like a set time where it's been that consistent. But I think last year, like in the middle of last year, it got consistent where I just had to rely on God. And I was praying for a job. I got a job. I was praying for Shine Your Light. Shine Your Light was booming and I was getting guests and all of these things.
Wow.
And
Start Shine Your Light last year.
sorry?
Did you start Shine Your Light last year?
No, no, no. I started in 2020.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So I've been doing it for almost 3 years.
That's beautiful.
Yeah. So yeah, yeah. I've been more consistent in the last one and a
Yeah.
half years. But it hasn't been like I've never been consistent with God before. Like if you ask my friends, I would always be the one that's like, let's pray, let's do this,
Yeah.
let's do that. But I can say I've now been more awakened to the Holy Spirit and his teachings and him guiding me, like more so in the last 2 years, than anything else. So
What works for you? Like I'm curious because obviously like I've told you mine was accountability definitely because I left home thinking, oh God, I really that was my prayer that like I've grown in a Christian home. I want to know how I can still be in communication with you without anyone. And then God was like, okay, let's see. And then now it was me like, God, I need someone. Like I genuinely won't wake up to pray if no one else calls and says, stop, it's time. So yeah, I guess I'm asking like how has your relationship been cultivated? Like, you know, you're growing closer. How is that process like for you?
it's not that like I have like someone always being like, it's okay, wait, I do. It's time to pray. Like we have prayers like every day, like
Yeah.
at 7, at 10, and at 12 p.m.
Ooh,
7
wow.
a.m., 12 p.m., 10 a.m.
So,
Yeah, we
so
have
you are a regular in God's kingdom. He's like, okay, she's back again.
I'm trying to like wake up more and trying to like, I
Yeah.
haven't been as consistent, if I'm being honest. But we get reminders of those on our group chat. But like
Yeah.
personally, like I have accountability, like I have leaders. Like my oldest sister is my pastor.
Yeah.
So so
How?
but she's also not on me like that. But it's just like
Yeah.
I have the accountability around me. Like my mom is
Yeah.
there, my sister's there, my other sister's there.
Yeah.
I have a group a coordinator, yeah. She's basically my pastor. I have pastors everywhere. Like it's not like
Like
anywhere I go.
covers.
Yeah, it's not like anywhere I go there's like no one, there's no accountability, but there's accountability everywhere. And I think for me, like it's more so on me. It's
Yeah.
not more so like being forced to do something. It's more so like, what are you going to do for God today? Like, how are you going to get closer to God? And I
Yeah.
think lately I've been trying to read my Bible more. Um,
Yeah.
because although I was like dabbling, I was about to go like dabbling in the more self-help direction, and God redirected me, and he was like, no, read my word. Like to someone, he was like, no, read my word, pray over these verses over your life, and
Yeah.
this is how you won't be worried about this or that. And I was like, okay, wow. And then I had a second encounter with someone else, and they were praying over me and all these things, and it was just like, whoa, I don't know what's going on, but I don't want this to stop. Like it was great. Like it was God speaking to me in different ways. So I've just been like trying to read more of my Bible, and I go to BLW Believers Love World Coventry, which is part of Christ Embassy, and we have the Rhapsody of Realities. So with the Rhapsody, like it's a devotional for every single day of the week. So I read that every single day, and then I read my personal time with my Bible, like what I'm
Yeah.
reading personally, because I had a certain goal of like reading certain
Yeah.
Bible chapters? No, not Bible chapters.
Yeah. They are chapters.
Yeah, no, but the
Books of the Bible.
books of the Bible. Yes, basically books of the Bible. So I had a goal and I reached that goal, but I still wanted more. Like you can never get enough of God. Like
Exactly. It's interesting, right?
yeah, so you
New
always get
revelation.
revelation. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
um, so I don't know if that's answering your question.
Yeah, no, it definitely is. I
Yeah.
wanted to ask a funny one though. Like, what's one moment where you're like, this was the most embarrassing moment of my life? Like, where you think and you're like, or maybe where you're just like, how was I in that situation? Like, honestly, this is crazy. When you think back at it, or just like a funny experience where you're thinking about this.
I don't know if I have any. Most of
They're
them
like,
are
I'm always put together, never embarrassed ever.
never embarrassed, never. I think it was when my first ex dumped me. Like, I think that was more embarrassing than funny. And I'm looking back at it and I'm just like, I was young and all that stuff. But I was just like he told me that he didn't want to be with me, and he was thinking about it for like 2 months. And we were in the relationship for like 3 months. And I'm just like,
Oh, you
yes,
cannot.
yes.
How dare he?
How dare you? And like coincidentally, after that, Richard and I became very close because she was there when
Boy.
after it happened. Um, and she was there for me. But like, that was more embarrassing. Now that I look back at it, I'm just like, I should have dumped him first. But like,
And decide,
I should have dumped him first, but it's fine.
like,
Um,
it's me.
yeah,
No,
yeah,
that's yeah, I get you. I've shared mine like I dropped, the uni card. So I was literally walking into the lecture hall. I was late, so people obviously in there like sat down, and I'm trying to scan my card because obviously you have to scan to
yeah,
show.
yeah, scan it. Yeah.
And as soon as I scan it, it falls into the bin. I did not know what to do. And there was someone else behind me who's trying to like also come in and scan their card. And I'm thinking, I can't leave my student ID. I need to pick it up. So I put my hand inside the bin. But at least I got the card. But yeah, I was just thinking, it's not like I'm leaving. I'm still going in here. Like everyone who's seen me has to see me look for a seat and sit down. But yeah, we move, we grow up. I was young.
It was only 2 years ago, but it's fine. It's fine.
Who's counting? Who cares?
Okay, no one. But
Exactly.
um,
Yeah.
Do you have any more questions for me?
Oh,
Because I know you said,
I had one more. What have you struggled with, like in your content creation, like for shining your light? Because I was genuinely inspired when I saw your channel, and I was like, this person has everything put together. Like you have a whole logo, everything's making sense. And I'm thinking, I've never had time to appreciate like that. Okay, I started this because I genuinely did think, okay, Lord, I'm grateful that I'm here. Because that was something I said to God when I was back in Zim, I was like, if you give me this, I will do this and I'll start serving you in this way. And I had to start, and I was genuinely like excited, to start my journey. But each step of the way, I would be looking around and I'm like, but these people are doing so well for themselves, or what do people want to hear? Like, so I guess my question is just like, what struggles have you faced? And I feel like I've actually overtaken the interview because but
no,
yes,
this is my
last one.
favorite. This is no, if you have more, you can ask me. This is my favorite part of the segment because I'm just like, I get to think, but I don't get to think of the questions. And it just like
Yeah,
put
they're like interesting.
these are interesting questions that I've never like no one has asked me. So I'm just like someone.
That's beautiful.
So
Yes.
keep thinking about more questions. We have all the time the world go. We still have time. We have so much
Yeah,
time. Keep thinking about more. Like feel free. You're free here.
yeah,
What's been a struggle content creation wise?
yeah,
I think figuring out shine your light while figuring out myself. Like um because shine your light comes from within me.
yeah.
But if Shami within Shami is like not good, like it's going to come off of everything
I
just
know.
being not good or
Yeah,
everything being chaotic or messy. And that also stems from my relationship with God. Like, how am I cultivating that as well?
yeah.
Um, yeah, that's been hard. Um, the changes, the rebrands that I think I've had like three rebrands. Like I've changed my logo like three. This is the third time I've changed my logo, and there
But
might be a fourth. And frankly, I don't care. It's my business.
it's your business. You get
Like
to
I
choose
can
your
change it
own.
as a many time. Like one person that I
I'm
want to have is George McBeard. McBeard? Is that
not quite sure.
like he's a what is it? What does
Yeah. Okay, let me
he
not embarrass myself.
sorry, the door just opened.
Okay.
It was a bit scary because I'm like kind of alone. Um, well, George, he does designing for a lot of brands and companies, and he just does pretty stuff. Like it's really beautiful.
Yeah.
And I'm like, one day I'm gonna have you rebrand
Yeah.
Shine Your Light for the fourth time, and people will have to be okay with it. And we move, like we move. So I
Okay.
think doing that has just sometimes been difficult to do, like rebranding and figuring it out and having to change stuff when people have been used to a certain look, but I'm going in a certain way and I'm just like, this is where I wanted to go. This is where I'm feeling led to go to, and this is what I want to do. And I hope you like it, and I hope it still conveys the message that you wanted to have. Um,
Yeah.
um, and I think sometimes getting guests on Hear Me Out has been difficult
Thank
because
you.
like
Welcome to the choir.
yeah, you reach out to people and sometimes they respond. They do respond, but it's just like their availability.
Oh yeah, yeah. Clashing
Yeah,
technically.
clashing times and all that stuff. And for me, it's kind of like now I have more time to record, and my timetable is
Are
more.
you on like holiday or
I finished uni.
wow?
Yeah, I finished uni. I didn't do a placement.
Thinking we have the same struggles.
No, we don't.
Wow.
We don't.
You had to say it with your full chest.
I had to say on my chest. So
Don't put me in that category. I'm done.
I'm not.
Wow.
I'm a graduate. I'm graduating in July.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's yeah. That is beautiful. I can't wait to get to that level as well. I'm like, okay, I don't know what happens next, but yes.
Yeah, yeah. It's kind of like it's a weird time for me because I'm just like, Lord, what now? Like, I've been in school for most of my life. Like, I'm gonna go do a master's, but it's kind of like, what now? You know?
Yeah. Are you
Um,
planning to do a master's in the UK?
yeah.
That's good. I was gonna say where, I was like, no, but let's not cry.
No, I don't know where yet. I'll
Yeah.
we can talk about that after because I don't need people stalking me that are
I'm
watching.
like, I'm gonna go there because she's there.
That'll be
She's a
creepy.
celebrity. Do you see yourself? Yeah. Have you ever thought that like Shine Your Light will get to a point where you're so famous that people recognize you when you walk outside?
Yes, I know it's gonna get to that point very soon.
Are you ready for that?
Girl,
You're gonna cross that bridge.
am I ready for that? Like mentally, emotionally, spiritually.
Ooh, it's going deep.
Yeah, I think I'm like 90% there. But I'm just like my capacity right now, like, because I do have a Shine Your Light team with
Yeah.
a manager and a designer.
No, this is wow. Guys, what are we doing with our lives? What are we doing? Everyone else. Do you know my aunt always says like you're the movie. We're all just watching you
Yeah,
in this world.
I'm in my own movie. Um, like my team like is a bit small. I'm not saying small teams can't like do big things, but like I want to reach 1 million people this year, and I'm just like I would need a bigger team. Like,
I love that. I have no team at all. And you're
yeah,
talking about size of your team. Hello, excuse you. But no, I get you. I think I love that because it's the mindset. You can't get anything that you've not yet seen spiritually. Remember
yeah,
the Tower of Babel. It says they thought about it, those men thought about building it, and literally the word of God says God came down to see the tower that had been built. And it was not get started, it was just like them talking about it. So that mindset, like when you think of something to a point that, yeah, genuinely you've reached there and you're now thinking, okay, God, so now we're here, we need more crew, we need this and that. And I think genuinely, like, because you're there already, like everything else will align, like it will come and you'll be like, where is this coming from? Like all the people that need to help you in that season will be there.
yeah,
And yeah, no, I'm honestly, I'm impressed by everything. Like you, yeah, your boldness and your confidence in God's word, like to you, is beautiful. It is.
yeah. I really appreciate that. I really do. Um, I hope I answered the question that we somehow got to like a different place, but I hope I answered the other question you had asked, about
Yeah, I
the
think you
content
did.
creation. Yeah. Um, yeah, but I want not I want to, but I'm going to reach 1 million people. Like it's something that I know there's no doubt. And I think a part of me has felt a bit like, how? Like, Lord,
Oh,
how?
you're not thinking, yeah.
Like, and I feel like that's why I've been feeling a bit stagnant because I'm just like, how is this going to happen? Like,
No, like I
can
know
you
you.
see like in the last 3 years, can you see my following, Lord? I haven't been making money from this, and I want to make money from this. I haven't been seeing the like following of certain things, and I've been putting in effort and time, and I'm just like, Lord, how?
You're thinking, please don't play with me. But no, I get you because trust me, I relate. Like, I think I started at a wrong time. Like, when I started, like, most of my friends were starting YouTube. And I never got an opportunity to kind of celebrate my successes because I was always like, well, that person's there now, that person's there. And I was then like, it's only now that, like, that comparison. I literally had to take like a detox from YouTube because it had come to that where I was like, honestly, Lord, this is not making sense to me. Like, why is this not moving the way it should? And I think like when like what you're saying that you've received a word that yeah, you're gonna reach 1 million, and it's like, yeah, now it's not making sense. It's and it's like if it did make sense, then you wouldn't rely on God because you know how you're gonna do it. But now it's kind of like that dependency. Because I know I grew closer to God because I was stuck. Like I was genuinely like, if you don't come through, I'm doomed, you know. And it's that radical faith of, yeah, if you don't do it, no one will. Like genuinely, like
Mm,
it's not going to happen on its own. And I admire that because I think you will definitely reach it. Like what I'm saying is, I've seen how you've been faithful with the little, with whatever you've got now, and like that commitment that and so God honors people that steward well his gifts. And yeah, you are going there, you're literally there, like your mind is there, so you're there. Like, no, that's, yeah, I'm so glad when you then blow up, like, I'll be like, guys, there was an episode where I was
I
there, and
was
I'm
there.
like, I know her, I kind of know her, please. But no, yeah, it's so beautiful, honestly.
Thank you. I think these are the words that I needed for today because I was praying, like I said a little prayer before I started this. I was like, Holy Spirit, just lead this. I don't know what I need right now, but I need something. I started speaking in tongues. I didn't know what else to say, and I was like, Lord, I don't know what I need, but I need something. And I think the need is being ticked off right now. Um, but I really appreciate it. This is gonna be very long. It's gonna be a long interview.
You know
Um,
what? Even Nutella said it. She said, "You guys are the same. This is going to be hard." And I was thinking, because I was like, "What if there's so much awkwardness?" Because obviously, I don't know,
you
Shami.
don't know how,
I
like
feel
you
that
said,
you and Shami are literally like the same. You
the
are
same.
talkers. This
Yeah.
is dangerous. But yeah, I know.
It's fine. We can even talk for 2 hours and make it a part one and part two. I don't know. It's all up to the Lord. It's all up
But
to the Lord.
yeah,
Any other questions? Is there anything else?
no, I'll leave you. I'll leave you. I think I've done most of them, really. Yeah, I think so. I think I've done most of them.
Okay.
Yeah, I think you've answered. The other one I was gonna say, like, what season do you think you're in? But I think you've kind of spoken about it
What season do
already.
you think I'm in? Did I talk about it? I don't know. I don't know if I
I
talked about
think,
it.
well, you spoke about in terms of like your channel, where it's like you know where you're going, and
Yeah.
yeah, maybe we didn't actually. Okay, that's the last one.
Okay.
I've done that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Um, I guess it's kind of I don't know if I can say an unknown season because not a lot of stuff is happening, like is moving, if I'm being honest. So everything is happening at a slow pace. And I'm just like, Lord, I just have to rest in God right now. And sometimes that's hard to do because I'm like, Lord, I just want things to move.
Like I can't just stop and do nothing.
Yeah, like I just want
It's
things to
hard.
go. This is not
Yeah.
it. This is not it, Lord. So I guess a season of rest because like uni was a lot, dissertation was a lot, all this stuff was a lot.
Mm.
So yeah, I guess like mentally resting and like not putting too much pressure on myself to have things figured out because I'm only 22. So
Honestly, we're young. We're
yeah,
young.
so there's no,
Just overthink it. It's when you turn like a different age and you're like, I didn't appreciate 21. I thought I was old then.
yeah.
I was old then. And it's like, no, you'd be fine. No, if there's anything, I'm just gonna say this. Because clearly there's been a lot of, signs and wonders about this whole relationship thing. If you do have a wedding, I want to be a guest. Like I love weddings, like genuinely, it's crazy. Like Luciano will watch this and roll her eyes and be like, stop, it's enough. But yeah, I've been looking for weddings and no one's getting married. And I'm like, guys, please do something. But
Yeah,
yes, can I be a guest?
you're
If you
invited.
don't invite me, I'll show up as a +1 or +3 somewhere. So you might as well.
You're invited. You're invited. Don't worry.
Yes.
You're
I'll use this as my invitation, like on the day. I'm like, guys, sorry, this is
She
what
invited me. It was a verbal invitation. You're invited.
exactly. I'm like, I know the bride. Thank you.
I know the bride. Um,
Yeah, no, I'm done.
no, you're invited. Don't worry.
Yeah.
I will have a wedding, but
Yes.
to whom I don't know. But
Yes.
like, I will have a wedding, and you will be invited. Don't worry.
Yes, no, I tap into that grace. I'll be there.
Yes.
We'll be there.
Um, I don't have any more questions for you. You don't have any more questions for you. I think
Yeah.
we should end it now.
Yes.
So that we can talk after, and then we can talk after.
You don't
Of just
overdo
us two. We can get ourselves popcorn and just be talking about life and talking about other things as well.
it.
Um, but I just want to say thank you so much for doing this. I really appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thank you for taking your evening out and like just spending the last hour and 10 minutes with me. Well, the last hour with me. And do you have any last words to the people before we stop?
To the people, if you watch these videos and they tell you and they inspire you, basically, please do comment down, inspire, like encourage Shami to keep going because this is beautiful. So please tell her, comment down below what was your favorite part, like what you want to hear more of, because she is ready to deliver. Like literally, she will get anyone on this podcast, on this, Shine Your Live page. So please do feel free to comment and share and encourage her. Just I feel like what you're doing is amazing, and I think you deserve respect for it and honor because yeah, it's amazing. And honestly, it's been a pleasure being on this. I've never been interviewed before. So this will, even no matter how far I go, this will be my officially the first one. Like, yeah, my first interview was over here. So thank you for that.
Welcome. Thank you for being a part of us, for being a part of Shine Your Light. Um, and thank you to everyone for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. And don't forget to shine. Bye,
And
guys.
subscribe.
And subscribe. Yes,
Yes,
subscribe.
please.
Subscribe. Subscribe. We want more followers. Subscribe.
Yes.
But don't forget to shine as well. Okay.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.